Alrighty, welcome back. We're up to phase 4. If I've got that wrong, somebody let me know. But we're up to phase 4. That's 200 years of America. Next week will be the final phase, and really that's just going to be us putting the quilt together and making sure that we have all the parts in the right place. Okay, welcome back. I am so happy to see so many people on today. Hopefully y'all will stick around. I know sometimes Facebook gets you kind of cut off here and there, so hopefully you're don't get cut out. It's been acting weird. I've heard a lot of people saying it lately. YouTube and Facebook has been kind of whacking out, so hopefully they've got that under control. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I did get the full pattern. For anyone who is not on my email, I did get the full pattern put up on my Etsy, and I believe my Etsy is in the links. You should be able to find it. I will make sure that I post it on this when I set it up for the YouTube. It is srqquilters.etsy.com. Please feel free to go in and look around and see the patterns I've uploaded in the last week. Finally got around to getting them posted. I realized that some of them only had their parts and pieces on there, and so I turned off a lot of those and just put the full patterns on. Although the log cabin, I've noticed I've had a lot of activity and a lot of people like just singular parts of that, and that seems to be doing well, so I'll keep that going. If there are any questions, please feel free to ask at any time. I will keep looking down at my comments to try to make sure I'm catching everybody. And so let's see. I was trying to get this straightened around. I don't think I was doing a very good job. Let's see there. That looks a little better. Okay. All right. Let's get going. So if you will look at my tabletop here, this is, let me get this going too. This is out of whack as well. I know you can't see it. Okay, and of course I got my grandkids out by the pool. It's Sunday. They're having a wonderful time out by the pool. All right, so what we're going to be working on is the center part today. Basically, the center part looks like this. There's one 6.5 inch block right there, square of fabric, and then we're going to be using 6 of the half square triangles and 3 of the 2.5 inch squares. And we're going to need to do 2 sets of these. So we're going to need to do 20 of these, and you're going to need 10 of these. Okay? All right, let me put my little reference sheet right over here, and let's get started. So one of the ways I like to do it is to just kind of set up the whole block that we're working on. So I can see it, and then start setting it up. So starting from the very top, we're going to have this one. This one goes down this way, and this one is going to go up this way. This one's going to go down this way with this piece right here. And this one's going to go this way. This one's going to go this way. I'm definitely running out of space here. All right, let's move it up just a little bit. And then this one is up here. Okay, and as you can see, it completes a whole nother star, but it also is part of another star. So, one of the things you can do is go ahead and lay them all out. Just stack them right up. Just make sure you have them right. Because if you start sewing them and you have got them placed wrong, you will not be very happy with yourself. Just trust me. Ask me how I know. Maybe that should be mine. Maybe that should be my little quirky saying, ask me how I know, referring to all the mistakes I get to make. All right, so we're going to go ahead and use some pins so we can pin these together so that I can keep track of which side I am sewing on. Okay. It was very nice. Wow. Okay. Let's see what happened here. I think this square may not be square after all. No, it's not. It must have been a leftover piece that I didn't cut down. Let's take care of that right now. Okay. Hopefully I didn't have any more of those. All right, let's see. Where did that come from? Right here and here. There we go. Just checking to make sure. Then we're going to do this one. Okay. And then we're going to do it again. Now do this however best works for you. And me, I always like to do one full block first, and then I can go back and do all of them. But I like to make sure I have the first one right and catch any mistakes I could make. And trust me, I can make a lot. Ask me how I know. All right, let's take this on over here. And we're going to come back here. All right, I'm still struggling with my knees, so I'm not standing up. Oop, let me take my shoe off. I like to do this barefoot if I can. Put my pin cushion back. Hopefully this particular lesson will go very, very quickly. And I love the chain stitch. How many people like to chain stitch? How many people know what chain stitching is? I don't know if you can tell, but I did go ahead and iron open my stitches. Miss Sheila, I think I might have just a little bit of that patch sticky stuff that you gave us. I think I may still have some. I just have to figure out where I put it, because I used it for something the other day, another patch, and so I may actually have some left over somewhere. And it's maybe a whole page of it, or at least close to a whole page. I know at one time I had a whole bunch of, well, I say a whole bunch, but it was just some of the pre-cut parts. All right. I actually dropped some pins on the floor, so I'm going to make sure I don't oh, there it is. All right, hang on, I'm coming. Got to, all my cords are all wound up and caught up, and another one. Well, you should have seen me struggling earlier today trying to get everything straightened out. Okay, here we go. There. Okay. So this is the very top, which is actually the bottom piece. I'm going to go ahead and iron them. Actually, let's see. Got my 2 pieces done. Well, that's going to be hard to know. Okay. For now, I'm just going to press them open with my fingers because I'm not sure where it's going to nest. So I'm just going to press it. Actually, I do know where it's going to go, I think, because this is actually backwards. This is the bottom one? No, this is the top one. Hang on. Nope, it's the bottom one. Okay. And then this one goes here. Guess I should have done them in order. This one goes here. And then this one goes here. I'm going to actually put these on backwards. Only because when this part matches up to the next part, it's going to be going in the opposite direction. So in this particular instance, you are not going to iron to the dark side. You're going to iron towards the lighter part, or where most of the bulk of the seams are. Okay. Put that there, put that there, put that there, and then we'll do the other part. Oh, it's warm over here. And I left my little fan all the way in the other room. Okay. Get it to Susan if you do. I forgot what it was called. I don't remember. I mean, what Sheila, whatever you said in the comments or in the text messaging, I think you were right. Of course, I can't be 100% sure on that, but I really do think you were right on that. I think that's what it was called. But I don't think it was anything we bought in one of the boxes. I think it was something that came as a as something you order extra. But again, I can't be 100% sure on that. All right, let's see that piece there, that piece there, that piece there, and then that piece like that piece like that, and that piece. Okay, perfect. All right, now let's go ahead and do the next piece. Once I know I have them laid out properly, I'm gonna get this iron away from me because knowing me, I will burn myself on it. Okay, I'm gonna prepare my next screen. How did everybody's week go so far? I'm gonna go that way. And then before you put on the next piece, make sure you check the last one and make sure you put it on right, because it can go very awry very quickly. Okay, so being as this is the last one, I'm going to go ahead and stack them up on top like this, so that as they come off, they're the first one's done. You do whatever keeps you straight. I'm just trying to do it the way that I know how to do it so I can stay straight. Okay, there we go. So we're going to do it again just like this. Last one, middle one, first one. All right, let's go ahead on over to here. We're going to bring the pin cushion over as well. Ooh, y'all, guess what? I got my So Easy table in. My mother's gift finally made it. I was so happy. Of course, I did spend an hour trying to figure out how to put it together. It's so funny. The thing only has like 6 parts, and I struggled with every single one of them. You would think, when they send you a box, an extra box, that your brain would go, oh, this must be the part I need to use. No, no. I just completely ignored that little box and tried to put it together with what the stuff that came with the parts. And it did not quite work out. I took it apart 2 times before I finally got it right on the third time. The only thing I was really grateful for is I have a little small handheld electric screwdriver that has the kind of screw tip that they were using, because it was actually more like an Allen wrench. I think they called it something else, but the little screwdriver I had has that particular tip in it. Made short work of all the unscrewing and screwing and unscrewing I had to do. Okay. Okay. And then we're back to the tip. We're going to cut it right here. Okay. I don't know if y'all can see that because I'm moving it around a lot. All right. Let's come over here to the tabletop again. Now, if I did this right, all right, let me check the second pieces to the right. So we want this to go to the left. So we're going to push this to the left. This is a good time to use the wood iron, the Carson wood iron. Just kind of keep that straight. Actually, I think I got this going this way. No, maybe not. This one's going to go this way. Really, all you're trying to do is keep your seams going in opposite directions so that you can nest it properly when the time comes. And this one's going to go this way. Now, if you keep them sewn together like this, then all you need to do is just keep flipping them back and forth, flip them over. Let's see here. Yeah, that's what I thought. This one's supposed to go in this direction. This one's supposed to go in this direction. That one direction. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to put this one together this way. I need a pin. So now here's where I absolutely would pin. I know there's a lot of people that say, well, I don't pin. Well, it's fine, but that is definitely not me, not when it comes to nesting. If I'm nesting, I'm pinning. because I don't want them to slide, and they will slide. Okay, and then one of the things you could do is you could go ahead and put the other one on. That way you're not dragging it. Okay, so that one's put together. Now let's bring the other one over. And we're going to check our pattern, make sure we got it straight. So down, up. So that's going to be left, right, and left. And when you're done getting all your stars together, just make sure that you iron them as flat as you can get them. If you have a tailor's clapper, use it to help get that seam as flat as possible. Your long armor will love you for it. Okay, questions? How we doing? Sheila, I will look for that, no, no, this one's wrong. Oh, whatever you need to do. And then we're going to slide that up. And nest that. And I've had to push that over because apparently I don't. Let's get over here, get it sewn together. We're going to do both sides. Dun dun dun. Ah! And cushion went over, sorry. Let's see if we can move him over just a little bit. Give me a little more space here. And then we're going to come back and do the other side. Now you see how easy this is working out. If you're doing a whole bunch of them at one time, you should be able to get through these stars, this part of the star block very, very easily. But really the biggest thing is right now we're just trying to get through and get these blocks finished. Okay, and let's snip this right here. Everybody's out playing in the pool, having a good time. I don't know if you can hear them or not. But they are definitely being rambunctious. I'd say girls play harder than boys, but I don't think that's true. I think boys can be unpredictably rough with each other and with other kids. Not in a bad way. They like to play. Okay, and let's get this one cut off. Let's throw it over there to be ironed. And guys, we are almost done with today. I got a new one I gotta start. There we go. Okay, coming up on that little nub there. Got it. And there we go. All right, now we're going to give that an iron and then put in the rest of it. Go ahead and trim off the other leader. There we go. And on this one, I mean, I don't really know that it matters much until you put it up to the next quilt block, and then it's probably going to matter. Yeah. You're not going to be able to avoid bulk. There's going to be bulk in the seams. Just go with it. Just try to get them ironed down and steamed down, whatever you have to do to get them nice, as flat as possible. Hang on, let me grab one of my tailor clappers. These are made for me, handmade, by the same person that makes the wood irons. And I just haven't had time to put my logo on here, but usually my logo goes on here. Let's move that out of the way. I love these things. They are so, so helpful. Okay. Then we're going to iron this one. Okay. Well, hello, Miley. How are you? Welcome. Thought you were going to be late. I was going to be late. But as it turned out, I don't know if you ever eat a Mexican restaurant. But sometimes they can be very, very quick, and sometimes they can be very slow. And they were actually going quite slow today. But then by the time it was time to get the checks paid, it was done and over, and we were out the door. And I was telling, all your kids married? No, not all of them. Only about half of them are married. And I have one, my son is expecting a baby coming real soon, and I'm so excited about it. I am so excited. Well, we're glad to have you back, Miley. Okay, so here's what your next two pieces are going to look like. You're going to need to make 20 of these. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn it this way. Because if you noticed, the pattern is actually exactly the same on both sides. You just flip it over to create the other side. So you're going to make 20 of these, and you're going to use 10 of these. So our next step is to take this piece and sew it on here. And then we're going to turn around and sew the other side to there. And that's the whole center part. So let's get to that part, and I'll show you what's next. Sewed it on, and you weren't even here. Sorry. Okay, so I sewed it on, but when I did, it didn't line up very well at the back. I don't know if you can see that very good, but it didn't line up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my, this is actually an eyebrow razor, so but you do need to be careful with it, but I find that it actually works very, very quickly. You just want to gently get it going. This one is just a little bit dull. I throw them out very quickly. They don't last very long, so I use them up until, like I said, I go through a lot of them very quickly. This one feels like it's getting caught on a seam. Okay. Let's try it again. Okay. Now once I start here and back behind where I was, I won't be using that again, because it will, anytime you have a double stitch where you're stitching over another stitch, it will not cut that smoothly. It will actually cut your fabric. So you got to be careful about that. But I do love them, and they make short work of some very tedious work. Okay. Now we're going to take that other part, and this one is going to be, you're going to have your two solid pieces on the outside, and this point is going to go up, and this point down here is going to be pointing down to the right. And you're going to flip it over. Let me line it up real quick. I'm going to stick a quick pin in it. Y'all make sure you say hello to Miley. For some reason, Miley, your the comments come up wrong. I don't know what that was. It just asked if I was going to be late, and that was something that Sheila mentioned to me. So I don't know if somehow on my phone it redirected the question onto your name. Thank you, Sheila, for greeting Miley for me. Oop, I just dropped one of my leaders on the floor. I've definitely taken to liking doing the leaders, as they do save me a lot of issues. I find sometimes, especially with this machine, when I use the cut button on the machine, it curls up and pops right out of the needle, so I wind up having to rethread my needle several times, and it's very frustrating. Okay, let me bring you back to the tabletop. All right, guys, so this is it right here. This is the centerpiece, and you see it's very big. What it should measure 18 inches. From what I measured, the finished block, when it's stitched into the actual quilt, is 17.5 inches. But I'm coming up at, well, according to this, it should be 18 inches. Okay, it is what it is. All right. It should be 18 inches finished. That's the way it measures out. 18 inches times 5 is 90, and that's what the length of the quilt is 90 inches. Ooh, go around, go around. Okay. Now, okay. Now all you have to do is we'll take that part we did last week. We're going to put that one here, and this one's going to go this way, and that's going to complete our whole star. Let's go ahead and give this a once over. I'm going to get these out of the way. We probably could have saved this for next week, but let's just go ahead and get it done. I'm going to nest those seams right there. Oh, and those seams are nesting up so nicely. And don't worry, I will have this particular pattern out to you. I'll have the whole rest of the pattern to you Monday. And you can get started on the whole thing, or you can finish up the whole thing, whatever it is you're needing to do with it. You should have the whole pattern by this next Monday. Okay, we're going to flip it over, and we're going to go ahead and put the other part on. Okay. So don't know if anybody knows this, but I actually have 5 children, 4 girls, 1 boy. He was my last child. Sweet, sweet child. And as a man, I couldn't be prouder of the man that he's become. So much in their lives. Of course, it's not my story to tell, but just know I'm very, very proud of them. Okay, so we're going to come over here and start stitching this together. Let's screen. And then next week when we get together, we'll talk about getting it put together. But please, please, please feel free to start putting it together. The stars are 2 by 5. So you're going to do 2 across by 5 down. And you should be able to, I mean, they're basically the same. No matter which way you turn them. There's no right way or wrong way. Let me just check and make sure. Yeah, it's staying lined up good. There's no right and wrong way. It's exactly the same whether you turn them right side up, upside down, sideways, left, right. It shouldn't matter. I can't wait to see them. And if you get them done, make sure you send me pictures. I want to be able to put them in the in the pattern so other people can see what you guys have done. And of course, I want to get them on Facebook too. Excuse me. All right. That's one side. Now let's get the other side. Seem to have missed a seam there. Sorry. Yeah, I think I actually got this one going upside down. That's okay. That looks good. That looks good. Yep, yep. Everything's lining up. I don't know if everybody knows this, but Sheila was not feeling very good, so we're going to be sending Sheila out some healing hugs her way. I know she's feeling better, but everybody can use healing hugs. Okay, let's just make sure that last piece is lining up like it should. And voila. Et voila. Okay, we're going to snip off the two leaders that I left on there. I wonder where the one thing I've got missing is my big ironing mat is missing. I don't know what I've done with that. I think it's still packed away. So we'll just have to iron from here. Hang on, let me get my iron and then I'll switch it over. Okay. So cute to hear them encouraging each other. Kind of like quilters. We sit here and encourage each other to get things done. You can do it. Okay, and then we're going to get that other side done. We're probably going to take a break over the summer on quilt-alongs, only because, one, I don't have anything designed yet for the next one. I'll probably put some video out of just some random sewing things we're doing or embroidery stuff. And for the embroidery class, we are going to call off for, just a little while. But I would really love for us to do some of the sweet pea sew-alongs together. So if you decide to follow along with the sweet pea, the sew-along or the kiss, which of course you can find that on Facebook, post it onto the embroidery site. There's the SRQ embroidery classes. Just you can join that and post any of your embroidery stuff that you're working on. All right, guys, so that's it for the star. Let's see, we're at 45 minutes. I'm going to bring this up a bit so we can see it a little better. Get this out of the way. So, that wasn't hard, was it? All right, and as you can see, we have little stars all the way around. There are 8 stars in each block, and you can see they all go the same direction. It's hard to see when you're looking at it but that's the star, and there are 8 of these all the way around. And we're going to make 10 of these blocks, Again, you're going to have 2 side by side, and we're going to have 5 going down. And that's going to connect up to your stripes. Now, if you decide you want to do yours a little bit different, you can put 1 row on one side, 1 row on the other side, and have your set of stars on both sides. I prefer to stick with the traditional, all the stars on one side and the stripes on the other. I have also been kind of toying with the idea of adding 1 more row of stripes next to my other stripes to make it a little bit wider, and that will actually make it a king size, which I can then, use on my bed as a king size. All right, let's come back up to the camera. All right, guys, so this is it. This is our star. This is the star that you see behind us. Goes right here. And again, it's 2 wide, 1, 2, and 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I was mentioning earlier that on the stripes, you actually have 11 of the white, 11 of the red, and then at the very bottom, there's another small one. It's like a half size, like 2.5 by 36. So you should have 22 plus the one at the bottom, 23. Um, I think I misstated here a while back and said that there were 10 and 10. It's not, and I'm pretty sure the pattern also has 11 and 11, or it was fixed and had 11 11. I'll send the whole pattern out to everybody just to make sure you have the right one. But this is what we're working on this week. And you're going to need to make up 10 of these. And to me, it's just beautiful. I love it. I love this. Is probably one of my most favorite patterns I have designed so far, and I'm absolutely thrilled with it. And it just came up at just the right time for the 250th anniversary. And usually what happens is once I complete a quilt and put it on my bed, it stays on there for like 4 or 5, 6 months. So this will probably see the top of my bed for at least a little while before I put it away and pull out a different one for a different season. Well, y'all, I had a lot of fun. We're going to be doing prayer time here in just a moment. Does anybody have any prayer requests or any praise reports? When you're praying for someone, you never have to say their name. The Lord knows, who you're talking about. They know where your heart's at, and it's always good to pray for somebody without necessarily involving a lot of information, because again, God knows your heart. He knows what they're going through, but interceding for them is never wrong, as long as you're doing it with the right heart. So, Numbers 6. I for whatever reason this does not want to stay in my head. Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord cause his face to shine upon you and give you mercy. And may you have a wonderful, beautiful, beautiful day. And in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. I hope you have a wonderful day with your family today. Hope dinner is absolutely delicious. And that you encourage someone else. Pay it forward. If you're in a restaurant, look around and find another table to bless. Pay for their meal before they've had a chance. If you're in front of somebody at McDonald's or one of the fast foods, share the love and pay for somebody's food. Make sure. Well, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. A lot of times you just put it out there and you hope that it goes to the right place. But sometimes that's all people need. Just a little shove, a little nudge to let somebody know that they are loved and that they are enough. You guys have an absolutely great day and a wonderful, wonderful week. And I will see you next Sunday, I think. If there's a problem, I will let you know ahead of time. Y'all take it easy. I love you so much.